Hello, my name is Izzy Park. I'm a Senior Director of Product Management here at Splunk, and today I'm going to be talking all about Splunk Machine Data Lake as part of the Cisco Data Fabric and all about achieving compliance without the bill. Today, every team makes a quiet decision about their data, what to keep and what to throw away. And it almost always comes down to cost. And so today we're going to look at what happens when the data you drop turns out to be the data that you need and how the Cisco Data Fabric lets you stop making that trade off. This is a story about the foundation of that fabric at the data layer. Compliance teams today must retain large volumes of audit telemetry for years, even though most of it is rarely searched. And organizations often choose between keeping everything in a premium index here at Splunk or moving it into an archive that is slow and difficult to use. And the impact is you have rising telemetry costs forcing you to make that decision, high management overhead of external data lakes that require you to manage schema, partitioning, and tuning, making it inflexible and difficult. And then on the business side, you're slow to respond to business needs and audits, slowing you down and the business. To put more succinctly, here's the problem in one sentence. Organizations have been forced to sort their data and make this decision between performance and cost. And so our objective is very simple. How do we enable our customers to retain more compliance evidence without increasing premium storage in proportion to data growth? And with the Cisco Data Fabric, a fundamentally new data strategy is needed. With CDF, the organization lands the complete evidence trail in Machine Data Lake's economical retention layer. And Catalog, also new, keeps it visible and governed. And when an auditor requests evidence, the team promotes only the relevant data slice needed into the high performance search tier. And so the outcome is broader visibility and better evidence fidelity, while premium index capacity is reserved for data that only needs immediate performance. Let's walk through a demo. In this scenario, I'm acting as an analyst trying to complete a historical investigation. I'm in my familiar search and reporting user interface, and I try to run a search on this data. And just because there's no results doesn't mean that the data is not there. It's just right now in Machine Data Lake waiting to be activated. And so as part of completing my historical investigation, I'll need to drop into the catalog view, which as an analyst, I now have access due to my admin, and I can see the data which I'm able to promote. And with the catalog, I can do all sorts of things to understand if my data is even here. Instead of going to my search and reporting and doing index equals star, I can use my catalog now to filter my data sets and find exactly the data that I need to complete my audit. And here I look at what's available for me to promote. I found the data sets and I can see and inspect if this is the data that I wanted before I promote. And so in this scenario, this is the data that I need, and I'm going to click on promote so I can make it searchable in my index tier. Here, I can narrow down even further. I have the specific data time window. I'm going to add additional conditions on source type just so I can get the exact data that I need and I don't have to bring in everything. And so I can get a nice preview and then I can confirm that and rename this data set so that I can have it in my searchable tier in my Splunk index. And so with this, you can see that because of my specific role, I'm only able to promote a certain amount of data volume, and even within the time window, which is all configurable by the admin, which enables me to have a more governed experience across my data estate. And so, for the purpose of this demo, I've gone ahead and actually completed a promotion job ahead of time. But here, I now can return back to my investigation. And when I hit search, the search will complete now with data. And this enables me to have a governed experience and promoting exactly the data I need, very specific to my investigation, so that I don't incur more costs than I actually have to. And so, what this means in practice is that I'm able to land my data economically, discover it, and promote it on demand when I need it, and actually search it when the use case arises. This was actually a completed use case most recently by a large financially regulated Splunk customer, which covered the same workflow. CloudTrail data moved through ingest processor into machine data lake, which was discovered through the catalog, then promoted and searched with SPL. This customer sees machine data lake as a governed alternative to their fragmented external data parking. And so they're exploring use cases spanning CloudTrail data, sensitive data, threat hunting, and multi-team access. The validated outcome so far is the workflow and the on-demand nature of the machine data lake. And it shouldn't be a quantified production cost reduction. The expected business value is to retain broader compliance and security telemetry economically and then activate curated evidence when security audit and compliance teams need it. As an additional proof point, I want to share a great case study with an industrial client based in the US. This customer is about to launch customer facing AI agents in Europe, which requires massive data retention for compliance and audits. Deployments of these agents have increased data ingestion from 800 GB daily to 1.6 terabytes of data a day. And with the machine data lake and the Cisco Data Fabric, even though there's a doubling of ingest, this represented only a 5% increase in cost of ownership. The machine data lake provides affordable landing of data and greatly reduces the burden of audits in the future. Additionally, the customer is able to gain additional efficiencies by consolidating their technology stack. The Cisco Data Fabric and the Machine Data Lake helps customers retain years of complete audit evidence without indexing everything at premium cost. Customers are able to land data broadly, contextualize data through the catalog and in a governed way, and promote only the data and evidence that's needed. The Cisco Data Fabric, in summary, changes compliance retention from pay to keep everything searchable or accept an inaccessible archive to be able to retain everything with governance intact and to make the right evidence searchable on demand. Thank you for joining me and look forward to seeing you in the future.